Okay, this is just going to be a studio update video. I'm going to tell you about some of my upcoming projects and some of the projects that I just wrapped up, as well as anything else that comes to mind. So let's go ahead and get into it. This last week, I was able to get a couple paintings done. I finished a commission for my uncle. His dog is Hank, and he's gonna come pick him up tomorrow. I'm really happy with how this one went out. I think the shoes look really good. I like the pose. Definitely captures his look very well. If you notice, I still haven't signed it, so I'll need to do that tomorrow. It's nice to have some physical reference of models that I'm gonna be using for my painting reference for a long time. I usually just work from my laptop and do Photoshop, but you know, your battery gets low and all those other kind of things happen. So I guess I've been underutilizing my printer. I need to be printing off more references. So I just bought this little book, and now I'm going to be going through and doing some of these references. Just taking time to sketch them out before I paint them. I have a little piece that my dad and I completed while we were at an art show. Just sitting there talking to people, answering their questions. He started it, and I finished it. I did the little flamingo in the front. Both of our signatures are on there. I went ahead and finished the sides in a matte black because I think it looks good, but I don't think we'll put this one in a frame. We'll let the collectors do that. Recently, I've been really liking pre-mixing my palettes, so I'm working on this painting of Zach back here. Right now, I just am using this smaller canvas to do a little study. You can see on this side, this is where I did the most recent painting. This is kind of just a lay-in from a couple months ago when I was still working on it. I'm just gonna let this one dry and probably do it as a warm-up tomorrow. I do have the palette all mixed, so I should just be free to fly and work on that one when I get in. I wrote down some of the recipes for the pigments because even though it's mostly monochrome, I wrote down the ones that I was going to need to remix because I know I didn't mix enough. Speaking of my printer, I have these two little print-offs of Zach over here that are interesting because it looks like on one of them the ink didn't totally work super well, but it's actually closer to the palette that I'm going for in the background anyway. So I thought it was nice to just keep them both. This week I also organized my paints into this little cabinet that I have. I feel really lucky and blessed to have so many paints, and now I'll be able to find them much more easily, so that's a good benefit. What else am I working on? I got some prints done. These are actually available on my Etsy if you're interested. I think they turned out really good. I got this one scanned after finishing the frame, and now it's up in Park City. Let's see what I have over here. These are a couple of studies of my other model, Maya. This one I'm just kind of experimenting with using acrylic and gesso to start. I actually want to try doing some airbrush. I have my airbrush up and working. It's another thing I got done this week. I want to try and test if the Blick fluid acrylics will go through the airbrush in a nice way and just start getting, you know, up to speed on that. What else is new? Well, I've really enjoyed keeping my palettes wet by freezing them. I'm starting to do that with my brushes as well too, because I was spending way too long cleaning brushes. Now I keep them in a Ziploc bag. After rinsing them off in mineral spirits, I put a little bit of oil back in them and then just store them in a Ziploc bag with some clove oil until I come back. And then I'm gonna start cleaning them out just once a week with soap and water because I think that's gonna be a lot more effective and make my brushes last longer. Speaking of, let's get to the fun thing. I got a Rosemary and Co package. I'm really excited about this. I don't know if I have a knife with me. I was carrying a knife in my pocket for so long and now I don't do. So if you don't know, Rosemary and Co are a company out of the UK. They've been making brushes for over 40 years. I think I first heard of them from Andrew Tischler. I used to watch his videos quite a lot back in the day. I bought his set way back when, and I really liked it. I think I am have been so anal retentive about my brush cleanliness because I destroyed those brushes, and that was an expensive set. I think his set is something like $100 and something. You'll see I bought some other painters sets as well once we get through this. So let's see. They have a little sticker for me, thank you, little receipt. So we'll go through that. Here they have their brush cleaning tips. Let's see what they say. Start with wiping your brushes on a rag or paper towel. True, you got to get most of the oil out. Wash them thoroughly with a good soap. Maybe this is where I got my bad habit from. You can use dish soap, Murphy's oil soap, or Dawn. I actually use Ivory. I do have Murphy's soap, but it's a little strong and it makes my hands itch, so I almost never use it. They said they don't endorse the use of mineral spirits. I disagree with that, and I think most people would disagree with that. They say if you speak with any oil artist, they will tell you there's no right way. And I do agree with that, but I don't think that using soap is the right way. I think most oil artists would agree on that as well. Okay, let's go through. This is a goat hair brush, and these are wonderful for fanning out. I'm probably going to use this tomorrow when I work on this background of this big one. So basically it's like a fan brush, but there are a lot more bristles, and so you can push the pigment, and this is incredible. I'm really excited about this. That is just so flush and soft and beautiful. Okay, I think this was my little splurge here. Oh no, I think this was just a little bonus brush. Well, that's really nice of them. Huh. I think this was just a little bonus brush. I did not order this. That's so sweet. Okay, this was my splurge, and it does come with a cap, which I'm really excited about, and it also has a little loop too. All their brushes are stiff when you first get them. They just have a little molding cream in them. So this is for Japanese calligraphy or Chinese calligraphy. I'm really excited to use this. It is probably going to be a lifelong asset for me. Okay. Let's see. So this here is a badger hair brush. I think that's what it's called. But this one was recommended in the Richard Schmid pack, and this is probably the nicest brush I own now. So this is going to be for laying in color as well as kind of fanning it out at that medium to large size, depending on the size of the canvas, really. This here is a dagger brush with the evergreen bristles. It is absolutely beautiful, and these are wonderful because you can do a lot of line work going down. They're wonderful for, you could guess feathers because they look like a feather. You don't really fill up the bristles all the way with pigment. You kind of just keep the pigment in the top half. That's a rule for every brush, but for this one, it's also true. You can also fan things out going sideways. So this is the Paint Coach brush set. He is wonderful. I've actually bought this before, and I love all these brushes. They're basically just a bunch of ivory flats and a couple of riggers. So they're ivory flats from 0 to 8, and then a couple of riggers in there. This is wonderful if you're just getting into starting oil paint. These are strong. They will last you a long time, and I think most of the people I know that graduated from the University of Utah oil painting studies use brushes just like this, as well as palette knives. In addition to that brush set, I also got the Mark Maggiore brush set, which is really fun. These brushes are a little different. They are shaped with a rounded point, but it's actually the same bristle. They just dye them, and it gives them a little bit more of a softness. It almost makes them feel more natural. This is another set that I've bought in the past. I think I'm going to keep buying this set as well as the Paint Coach set for a very long time. These brushes should last me about 2 years, so it won't be a while until I get some more. I'm very excited to have some nice brand new brushes. So here are more of the Egbert brushes. I really enjoyed Mark Maggiore's brush set, and so I decided I wanted to fill out my Egbert set. I got all the way up to 8 and a couple of 2s because I have been using these so much. They are really wonderful. A couple of these are the extra long, and I can tell that they are very, very long. And the last set, I just got some more of these evergreen bristle brushes. These are long flats, and I really like a long flat brush that is a workhorse for me, especially in this size. I'm fortunate enough to have been painting for a few years, and I now know what my habits are and what kind of brushes that I like to use. So I was able to order exactly to my taste and also get a couple of experimental brushes like this dagger brush. I had the dagger brush from Andrew Tischler's set, but I destroyed it by getting some liquid down in the ferrule. And so it is now all splayed out, and it's good for a couple of things, but not for the precision and the high quality brush strokes that you can get with a brand new one. So I'm excited to have. And then last but not least, they have their catalog so that you can look in and see. Actually, I'm going to see what that brush that was recommended by Schmid was called. So the Master's Choice is a badger hair blend, but it's made to imitate the mongoose hair, which you cannot buy anymore. I think that's a hate crime against mongoose now. In pieces. I usually just get most of my stuff from Blick, but when I do a big brush order like this, I like to get them from Rosemary and Co because I prefer these because they are a little cheaper, even considering the shipping and tariffs. And I know that I'm the first person to touch these brushes besides the expert that made them. Plus, I'm just getting used to how they feel. I think I will use these for my entire career. And hopefully I can get a sponsorship from them soon enough. Well, the sun's going down now over the building next to me, but I appreciate you spending some time with me and nerding out on brushes. I hope this video was a little bit insightful, and I know I had fun because I really love these brushes, and there's almost nothing as exciting as getting brushes for me. Maybe getting paint, but I have way more paint than I can use, maybe in my whole life. So brushes it is. We'll check back in next week.